So again, well played, hard, short, end of the stick, but I'm proud of the way the guys think they played better this week than they did last week. We played a really solid team. It's been playing good. Again, we played well, but not good enough. So congratulations to Michigan. Proud of our guys, proud of the seniors. Good, awesome group. A lot of ball to play, a lot of things to play for. We'll see if we're strong enough and led well enough to get what we need down the stretch.
What was your opinion on the final play? You guys brought, I think, 18 rushes in a row. Then what was the pass? What was the decision?
Again, we had a back and forth. We talked about, hey, do you want to go zone read? There was some one-on-one plays. We knew that we felt they would play pressure, man-to-man coverage, and we just went to play with their defender. Did a good job defending. Couldn't make the play. We talked about, hey, do you want to run the play? It's a similar play to the play that we did before. The play before, we had, I think, the second down call. We had a chance when we ran the ball. And a lot of times we don't tell Nate. Sometimes with his injury and come off the shoulder, we like him to run a ton sometimes, but he actually maybe on second down could have kept it, but that really wasn't part of the scheme. And so we then included him on third down. He made a phenomenal effort trying to get in on third down. When he spun around, got to about the 1.5 to 2. We talked about it. We had several choices. We went with the kind of a max pro and route over here and 2 routes over here and see if some guy can win. They defended it.
How hard was it to not go with Jordan on that last play just as well as he'd been running, particularly against a defense that is that good?
Yeah, we talked about it and made a choice.
Kevin, if you had scored a touchdown, would you run it too?
No, I would have kicked it because we'd have been right back up. And if I would have felt with the momentum that we had offensively, we would have scored, then you would have had to go for 2 the next time. So we would have been right back up. I think we had enough plays that you thought that you might have, could continue to pop a few things in there. And again, you still got to execute, but we would have tried to extend it because now you're in the overtime, it's back-to-back scenarios. So we would have doubled down, and then we'd have had to go for 2 on the next one, third and 10. Didn't get it.
What allowed Jordan to have such a successful day? I mean, what was the O-line doing?
Well, it's a good team. You got some receivers, you got backside tight ends. I'm sure we'll look at tape. Those guys are well. So again, it takes a lot of guys to run the ball. It takes a pass game and their ability, to play the pass game. What was Nate's numbers? 20 or 34 for 220. So there's some balance. So it was just a good team. Jordan played extremely well. Great game. Played hard. Did a lot of things, but also, we had a fair plan of what we were trying to do. It was good teamwork, good team effort.
The last play aside, what was the mindset behind 18 straight run plays? Was it just kind of, if it isn't broke, don't fix it?
I don't know. I mean, we had some passes, but sometimes there's run pass combos. They were kind of playing challenging every receiver. But really, the run was getting, on schedule. We had 55 snaps in the first half. I thought the more they played Peppers on offense, the more tired he got. That was good. So I thought just had a lot of plays. I think the key was the first downs and second downs got us on schedule, because we didn't get into a lot of third and longs in the first couple of plays, and we got drives going. And I'm not sure. I don't think we had a 3-and-out offense. Maybe we did. I don't remember. So. Well, like we said, we're going to run 18 straight. We're playing. Take one thing. And maybe we should have ran the last. Didn't work. So every time it doesn't work, you do something else. It probably would have worked, but we don't know because no one ever seen that. So.
What did you feel the issue was with the pass defense, particularly on those 2 overtime plays? 21-yarder and the 25.
I was on really with the offense, getting their calls, what we're doing next. So we can say exactly what the calls, communications were. I got to go back through with all the plays. I'm going back to regulation. We had them 4th down, if I remember correct, 4th and 5. And so a little popped up. We had some great pressure. Couldn't quite get there. Looked like Shaw coming around their left tackle was heating it up. The kid made a contested catch. They hit us on a double move. Was the last move on that little slant and go. And corner bit it. They got us there. So that was the last one. The one before, I'm trying to remember what the one before was. Help me out.
Tight end over the middle.
Yeah, but over the middle.
I don't remember the call because I was talking and I was fair amount of the offense and hey, what we're thinking next and what all that was kind of putting the coach on his guys. And so,
Is there any concern, I guess, in your mind, any of those freshmen basically reaching a point where they've just sort of maxed out for the season back in the secondary?
I mean, they're gonna have to, hope they have Matt. I shouldn't say that word, I don't like that word. So, I mean, again, that's why we did some things, changing some of the practice, take some of the running, some of the workload off, you know. Andre Brown, had a shoulder issue, didn't dress today. So you got a few, if you got Jamil Cook, has not played in 2 games, he broke a cup. He had an injury last game, he didn't dress the last 2. So he had an ankle injury, required surgery, so we're getting a little thin, so we're trying to be smart with it. But again, I expect those guys, this team, there is 0 moral victory. This team plays pretty good football, not quite good enough, but they got an act for coming back. And I think our coaches are doing a good job coaching them. I think our leaders are doing really good. We're going to work really hard down the stretch. This week, going on the road is going to be very difficult. And at the same time, we're going to put together a good week. And this team has an act for coming back. And we keep talking. If we're a good team, we keep getting better. I thought we got better from, the way we played at Penn State wasn't good. We got better until we stood around for 20 minutes. We came back the next week and got better until we stood around for 5. And then last week we were battling. This week they came back and, they continue to keep pushing. And it's not where we want. But I'm asking them to keep pushing. And as coaches, we're going to do everything we can the right way because it's a really great group of kids. And they don't deserve anything. We just expect them to get better. I believe they're going to. Expect them to.
I'd like to talk a really timely time out in the fourth quarter, driving. I think one of the regroup the defense a little bit. And 2 snaps after that, they got really good pressure on Rudock, and you guys ended up holding the field goal. With the secondary struggling the way it is, from your point of view, is that what really needs to happen now? Is
Yes.
more consistent pressure?
Yes. And sometimes we have to do it where we can't blitz. Because leave voids, leave holes, some of those middle routes, when you pressure with backers up the middle's open, and they're running some leverage routes. So if you're inside, they're running corner routes. If you're outside, they're running end breakers. So, but that was my thing. I thought we did a great job. Their leading rusher is their quarterback, and I might be wrong, but I believe it was all scrambles. And so we did a really good job, if you look at that, of holding their run game on run plays to about 60, 70 yards. And it makes, a tough, physical, 2 tight end deal. So, I think our defensive fronts played well. We got to keep playing enough guys, Andy, that we can get the pressure that we need. That's why, again, we're just sitting around, and it's 2nd, 3rd down, and we're playing a really good team. We're winning. No disrespect, but if we can get that crowd louder, that tackle's a little slower out of the count. You can get, it's just, you're so close that you need a lot of things clicking because you're getting down to a play or 2. And again, I'd like to, now we're going to be on the road, so that don't matter down the stretch. We got to keep bringing our own energy. But the last few weeks, the way those guys are playing, the D-line to me is the key to our defense finishing strong. Whether we've hit the wall sack or not, you know what I'm saying? I think the D-line is the key. Jordan Howard's playing great, he's healthy, but that O-line and tight end, Wade and Cooper and those guys playing, that's the key to that run game. So there's a lot of groups, and again, we said that we were a good line of scrimmage team, and to me, if you're a good Big Ten team, you get stronger down the stretch. And we played 2 of the most physical Big Ten teams in the country the last 2 weeks, and we're starting to show that kind of brand. Now we got to make some plays and win those games.
Cooper and Lincoln got banged up late.
Lincoln cramped up. Matter of fact, he was kind of full. He was kind of full body cramped in there in the deal. So he just cramped, and Coop got an ankle but came back and played. He actually got kicked. And then we did the old proverbial, when you're it's late in the game, you get kicked. Sometimes you get a free timeout if you just because player welfare is important. So we don't, it used to be like you had to come off the field to show your toughness. Like, hey, so that's kind of like if you're hurt and coming off, you can let your teammates because the game. Our tempo now as offense is slowed down. So why don't you almost get like basically a timeout? Michigan did the same thing a couple times.
2 more questions.
Yeah, a couple juniors go through the pregame thing today. Is that door kind of close and those guys?
Yeah, no. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell them. Matter of fact, sometimes because we played so many juniors today, I saw today's senior day really as parent day. And a bunch of parents, a parent group, an awesome group. They get together 4 games, after games. They're led by a couple families that are awesome with emails, and they've done a great job of bonding. And there's some great niches with the way they embrace all the new families that come in every year. And I think there's as families, sometimes some families want to be, I've talked to a couple kids, they need to understand the workload, and if the door's open, if you want it, but at the same time, if you've earned the right to do this, and you can do it again if you want, it's more of a formality. And there might be some guys that didn't go through senior day that maybe don't want to be, come back. I mean, everyone's kind of different. What is your work? I mean, it's workload. This is a lot of commitment. And after 4 years, do you want that on your body, your back, all the lifting, all the running, all the practices? And some guys do, some guys don't. We don't encourage it, discourage it. Here's the rule. Only thing I ask is if a kid comes back, I don't want a poor fifth-year senior. I want a great attitude, positive dude, give me some energy and juice, help the team. There are several guys we'll visit, but it's families. That man Jerry family, Sudfeld family, and Spriggs, some of those families are fourth years gone, and those guys are redshirted and played with them, so we'll see.
Offensively, though, you guys, 370 yards rushing against a team that are averaging 8.6 defensively, 41 points against a team giving up only 11.9. What did you see? Why was the run game so good? Why were you guys able to do so well offensively?
We're not a bad team, but we're not good enough because the real stat is we're 0-1 this week. And we need to get 1-0 next week. So it ain't about stats and running, it just wasn't enough. So we ran it one more time then or not. Ultimately, there's only one stat that counts, and we're 0-1. So at the same time, we're a good enough football team, players, we can throw some stats out there, but the real stats, the W, right now, we are 0-6 against a couple really good teams, but that's Big Ten football, and that's Big Ten East football. And at the same time, we look forward to learning, having a good week. Appreciate the families and parents and fans here, you guys. And at the same time, we've got a lot of football to play. We're going to do everything, because the one stat we need to be is find a way on the road. 7 days from now, we need to be 1-0.
Thanks, Coach. Players, good luck.